Here we go.
Hey, yep, we are live. I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today I got a brand new guest for you guys. I have David here. I can never pronounce your last name correctly. Is it Pelayotech? Explain how
Paleo is my last name, and it's just Pelayotech.
Okay, awesome. So tell everybody a little bit. Go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit. Tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and tell them a little bit about what it is that you do, man.
So yeah, my name is David Paleo. I'm from California. I started reselling almost seriously, honestly, only for like 8 months. Where I really started growing the business, but I've been doing it for like 2 years. But within those 2 years, like there was a 6 month period where I didn't resell at all. Had like some restrictions. I kind of gave up on it, but then I went back in it. But seriously,
Yeah.
like honestly, like a year and a half, like hardcore. But I didn't start growing exponentially till about like 8 months ago.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I like your energy, your spirit. You're still young. How old are you now? 24, 25?
Yeah, I'm 24.
24. All right. Yeah. And I was checking out your YouTube channel and I messaged you on Instagram. I've been trying to link up with you and we just trying to get our schedules synced up.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, finally. Yeah,
yeah,
dude, I'm so freaking busy. It's crazy.
I understand, bro. That's the
Yeah,
life
it's
when
the
you're
same for everyone.
self-employed. It's like your days start running together. It could be Monday or Wednesday. You wouldn't know because
Yeah.
the days kind of run together. So, hey, man, congratulations. We'll tell everybody about your new warehouse you just got. You told me that it was 3,500 square feet. Do you mind showing
Yeah.
them real quick your office?
So yeah, I have 3,500 square feet. Probably
Go
about.
ahead.
Can I flip it around?
Yeah, I'll put you on full screen.
Can I flip it to the back camera or no?
Go ahead. Whatever you want to do,
Okay,
bro.
so right here is one of the offices. I'll show you my
Yeah,
shipping area right here. This is where I keep all my supplies.
that's cool.
Yeah, and here I have my backdrop. These are just desks. Right now with shipping, so it's a little messy. This is where I ship. This is where I put some of the packages. I keep tubs here. I do electronics, so right here is where I clean and sort through items. So this is one office here. Right now I just dumped out a bunch of stuff that I just bought.
Yeah.
And I just literally just dumped it out right now because I was gonna separate the tiny stuff. But here I
Uh-huh.
have some stuff, and this is it right here.
Right. And so you just moved in. When did you move into your new warehouse?
I moved in close to Christmas, like a week before Christmas. Moved into
Oh,
this one.
okay. So you only been there for like a couple months. And
Yeah,
so how many,
two and a half, 3 months.
tell people how many items you have listed on your eBay store right now.
I have 10,500, but I'm about to launch another 100 right now, so it's about to go up
Okay.
a little bit.
All right. So you have 10,000 items in your eBay store. And how has your sales been? Because I saw a video you dropped, I don't know, maybe 2, 3 months ago, and you were talking about how your sales was like 42,000 in the past like 30 days. So could you talk a little bit about
Yeah,
that, how your sales have been? Because a lot of people has dropped off since fourth quarter has over.
mine hasn't changed at all. I'm at 40 and a half right now. It just kind of stays there right now, but I'm about to do another hire and double whatever I'm doing right now in terms of listing.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of getting ready for that too in the past 2 months, getting prepared for that. Buying racks like right here, this rack right here, like from here up, they're empty. But I'm gonna get the boxes for it. This one is completely empty, so I'm gonna fill this up, and I could fit. I don't know. In each one of these blue racks, I could fit like 5,000 items. But since I do electronics, the higher priced items are honestly in the bigger stuff right here.
Hmm.
So back in my old warehouse, I couldn't even get these kind of items in my warehouse because it
Right.
took up too much space. But now, like even this wooden rack, it's like super tall. Like I could fill this one up too. But yeah, let me see. So yeah, now I can and I have all this space over here too, so I can get a lot of bigger items. And right here, and these four blue racks, I could fit 20,000 easy, and just tiny, smaller electronics. And then yeah, I'm gonna add more racks and a few more things I want to do.
So
But yeah,
so let me ask you a few questions. what is your average cost of goods? How much money do you have tied up per item? And what's your average sell price? Because I was watching your video and I think you said your average sell price is only like $30. So when these people are thinking, man, I can't do $40,000 a month in sales, my average sell price, because I think my average sell price is like somewhere around $20, $25. It's not huge, but you said your average sell price usually runs you around $30. Can you speak about that?
It's actually 40 now. It went up
Okay, cool.
just because of the space, and I was able to get the bigger items that nobody
Yeah.
wants at the flea market. Nobody wants those items because they're harder to ship and they're harder to store. And now I have the space, so I'm taking advantage of that. Like the people I
Okay,
go
cool.
against with at the flea market get certain stuff, like they're leaving it behind, and I'm getting it dirt cheap because no one else wants it. So, but yeah, it
Right.
went up.
So go ahead. So how much do you usually have tied up? Because I know you're similar to me. I don't have 10,000 items. I have like around 6,500 items in my eBay store. But you talked a lot about buying items in bulk. So can you talk a little bit about how you do your sourcing? Because, you know, if you were to go to a thrift store and come home with 3, 4, 5 items from a thrift store and try to do that, you'd spend all day long just running around
No,
sourcing
yeah,
to get
there's
a
no way.
handful of items. So talk a little bit about how you do your sourcing.
So I just started off by going to flea markets, picking up everything I saw if it was even remotely like profitable. But not really. Like I'd stick to like 100 and up. That was my mentality, just 100 and up. And with electronics, it's not that hard if you're only focused on that. But you might walk away with only like 4 or 5 items in a day if you're lucky, if it's like a good day. But then I started getting into like the $50 items, spending 5, getting 50, spending 20, getting 100, and I would just do that. And like in my garage, I was able to. I rotated about. I would just keep my store at 200 items, but they would all be 100 and $100, 50, 500. Like it was like that. My average sale price was like 100, $120 back in the day. But now I started watching Daily Refinement in August, and that's when I learned a lot from him. I look up to him a lot, him and Tech in sports, and I just figured like my average sale price is pretty high compared to most people. What if I just incorporate their ideas in terms of volume and throwing a bunch of stuff in there like that? So
Yeah.
that's
Okay. Awesome. So, what is your goal with this resale business, man? Because I know that I know you said that you were looking at hiring another employee, and you said you can probably get 20,000 items in your warehouse because you got 3,500 square feet. So, what is like your end goal with this resale business? Because I know in California your cost of living is pretty decent, and then you got to have a good chunk of capital to reinvest into your business to get inventory every month. So, can you
yeah.
talk about that? Are you planning on growing and scaling your business a little bit more, or what's your
Um,
strategy with that?
my goal would be to get about this year. I want to do 1 million in sales, and next year I want to do 2, and I want to keep it around 2, and then I want to start other stuff. But now I'm going to start doing YouTube, so we'll see where it goes from there. But if I do this other hire, I'll be able to up the production a lot more, and I'll have more time to source and get better quality items, and have a little focus my energy on different kind of things. If I get it up
Yeah,
to the 2 million a year, it'd be kind of like just kind of maintain it there. Probably
yeah,
cancel myself out of the equation in terms of like I don't have to be here all the time. It's just kind
yeah.
of running, but I'm still going to be active. I'm always going to be active with it, but I just want to get to a certain point like that, and then I'd like to get into real estate and have a lot of stuff that I want to do. So
All right,
it's
cool.
going to be like
So
the
now,
cash flow to for everything else I want to do.
oh, really? Okay, cool. So, how many items do you usually list a day or have listed a day on your eBay store? And how many a day do you average sell? Because in your videos, you said you were selling around 30 something items a day. So, can you talk a little bit about what, how many items you try to list per day? Because I know you said you tried to list 7 days a week. You try to get some drafts and try to get some listings up in your eBay store. And how many items you usually sell?
So I think at the most I ever did for like a month was like 120 a day I listed, but I was just throwing in a lot of cheaper items. But in the past 2 months, I've been able to maintain 40, like 35 to 40 a month by
Yeah.
posting 60 to 70. So it's 50 less items I buy, 50 less items I list, and it's less headache, less items I ship, and I'm able to make pretty much the same money. and that's just because I'm being able to get higher priced items thrown in the mix when I sell one good. The thing is, like broken receivers, you find them anywhere,
Yeah.
and no one wants them because they're broken. But if they're $400 when they work, and when they're not working, they're 100. Like I'll pick them up all day, and I can store them. And I just buy a bunch of boxes that fit pretty much any size receiver, bubble wrap them, and put some foam on them. Like I can ship them really fast. So I just kind of figured out how to mass list them, mass ship them, so it doesn't bother me. So I just
Yeah.
incorporate those kind of bigger, more pricier items.
Right.
So that's kind of been the difference that I can. But now I'm gonna keep doing that and incorporate everything else I used to do with the cheaper items, the tens, the fives, the 15s, and then still keep getting those, and just kind of throw it all in there and see what happens. Because I mean, I don't know. It could be more than what I'm thinking.
All right, cool. Hey, we're live. I'm going to give a shout out to a few people here in the chat. We have the ATL Flippers in here. Says, what's up, everybody? I wanted to give a shout out to Javela Flips. Annie is here. Says twice in a day. Jeff is here. Yeah, I try to work around my guest schedule. As in, I messaged him on Instagram and he said he was free tonight. I was like, hey, let's do it. I wanted to give a shout out to Vinny Diamonds is here. Says, hey, Jeff, glad you're streaming. Hey, thanks for jumping on and hanging out with us. We're streaming on YouTube and Twitch right now. So if you guys have questions for our guests, you can drop it here in the chat. So hey, so now we talked a little about your business. I'm a little bit curious about. You said that half of the items that you sell a lot of items that are kind of broken items, and I think people overlook items when they say, "Oh, this item is damaged or it's not in brand new pristine condition," and they just walk right by it. Where you see it, you see a pile of money when you see broken items. So talk to me a little bit about that, about your strategy, because I think sometimes when people are maybe they're at a flea market or yard sale or estate sale or whatever, they're like, oh, well, this item doesn't power on, it doesn't work. You're selling, electronics that doesn't even power on. So talk about that.
Yeah, I sell stuff that's completely like shattered, broken. I post it all, and there's been times when like even like my friends are like, "Dude, that's not gonna sell," but I'm just like, "I'm just gonna see," and it ends up selling. And um, I've sold almost 10,000 items, and probably half of those are not even working. And the thing is, about going back to the cost of goods thing, since a lot of the ones that I buy are broken, that's a great opportunity to get them super cheap from the people. Like, dude, it doesn't work. Who's gonna buy this? Like, I'll tell them like, oh, I can maybe fix it, and I drop them down a lot. Or some people are just like, they put their broken items like that to the side, and then I get them like sometimes for free, like a lot of them. So it's just a lot of people don't want that, and I just come in and get it because you can't base, like, if you have a smaller store, you probably wouldn't recommend just throwing broken items like that. But since I have a lot of traffic, it's okay to like throw it in there, and they end up selling.
All right, cool. Now, talk to me about, so let's say if someone wants to grow and scale their business, because you have over 10,000 items listed right now in your store, and you said you have enough space to grow to 20,000. So is that your goal in the future, to kind of grow and scale to get 20,000 items active listed on your store, or what's your plans as far as the amount of items you have listed? Are you planning on growing and scale it to a certain point, or what?
Well, I was saying 20,000 items in the 4 racks I had there. Here, I think I could fit like 35 to 40,000 in this warehouse if I set it up correctly and like every square inch is used properly. For sure, I could 35 to 40. This year I want to get to like 30 to 35.
Yeah.
And just kind of max it out. Just go as hard as I can. Last year, from August to December, in August, like August 1st ish, around there, I had like 2,000 items. And
Right.
I just went super hard, and I went from 2,000 items to like 8,500 by the end of the year. So,
Right.
I don't know. We'll see if I just get on that kind of pace. I mean, from 10,000, I feel like I get to 20 pretty quick, probably by July, hopefully, or something like that.
Yeah, well, you gotta, as long as you stay, motivated and you hustle, you can, I believe you can do it, man. You just have to stay motivated and hustle. So let's get to some questions here in the chat. The ATL Flipper says, how big is your warehouse?
3,500 square feet.
Okay, cool. Diasis says, how do you store your inventory? He just gave us a big walkthrough tour of his warehouse. He has a big
I'll show 'em real
warehouse
quick.
of,
No problem.
go ahead. And he has, I think he said it's 3,500 square feet. So this is how he stores his inventory. The biggest
This is
thing that I'm,
one of these racks, and each one of these boxes, 35 items fit. If not, sometimes
right.
more, sometimes less, but on average, 35. And they're
Yeah.
super tall. They're 8 feet tall. So, and
Yeah.
180 boxes fit in one row.
All right. Now, show me a little bit about your inventory system, the way you have those boxes set up. Each one of them has a number and a box and a SKU on it, right?
Yeah. So, this goes from 1 to like, I'm right now, I'm like close to 500. So it starts off right here in 21
Yeah.
on the white ones, and it just goes like that, and it kind of just loops around, and
Yep.
they're all in order.
So let me ask you a question, man. How much capital do you spend on an average month on inventory for your eBay store? And what percentage of the money do you actually pay yourself? Because if you're going to grow and scale your business, so that's one of the biggest things is you have to have capital and you have to have items to list. So you have to have inventory. So you have to be able to, so in order to grow and scale your business, you have to sink the money into it. So how much money do you think that you would spend on an average month? So if you made $40,000 a month in sales, let's say, and then you have to take your cost of goods out, your eBay fees, shipping costs, and all that. How much money do you think that you actually reinvest to buy inventory, and how much of the money do you actually pay for your expenses? Because you're having to go and pay yourself, you have to pay your employees, you have to go pay for your warehouse space and your inventory. So, can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Probably spending like 15 to 20 a month on everything to keep it going. But you can get discouraged and be like, oh, I'm spending all this money. But the thing is, I'm in a growing phase. I don't need to pay myself anything. I don't care. Like as long as I eat and have a bed, like it doesn't matter right now, because I know it's gonna be for the future. So I'm thinking of even moving into this warehouse, like because there's another office I'll show you right now. Just the focus right now is reinvest 90% of everything back into it and grow it as fast as possible and get it to a certain level to where I can do other stuff. So
Yeah,
I just want
I'm
to,
with you.
yeah.
I'm with you on that. And sometimes when you're reinvesting a lot of capital, like you said, in the growing and scaling phase, it doesn't like you don't. You're kind of looking like, where's they used to have a commercial when I was a kid, and they would open up this hamburger patty and they would say, "Where's the beef?" So it's like, where's the profit? Because
No,
you're
yeah,
taking a
no,
good chunk of your capital and reinvesting it to buy more inventory every month.
yeah.
So Vinny says very soon the scaling phase. Javela flips. Annie says, do you have anybody helping you, and where do you source? So you said you have one person that helps you list. So can you talk a little bit about that, about
Yeah, it's
hiring people
actually,
to help you list?
I've tried a few people, but over time, like my sister worked with me for a bit, but she wasn't showing up on time. You know, she's my sister, so she would slack off here and there. You know how it goes. Um,
Right.
but then I fired her. I straight up told her like, like, hey, like, she's younger. She's 18, and I was like, hey, like, anywhere else you go, like, they're just gonna fire you if you're not showing up, or this day you don't feel like working. So, and honestly, like, I need someone here Monday through Friday minimum, and I fired her, and I ended up getting other people, and then after a while, I was like, hey, are you ready to work? Like, for real, this time Monday through Friday, you get a certain amount of things done, and then you go home. And yeah, she came back, and it's been great. So now it's just Monday through Friday. She comes in. She comes in whenever she wants. She's my sister, so she has a key. If I'm outsourcing in the morning, she just comes in kind of whenever, as long as whatever gets done gets done.
Yeah. So do you pay your employees like piecework? Do you pay them hourly, or how does that work?
Um, she gets it done pretty much at the same amount of time every day. So I just give her a certain amount every day. As long as she gets it done. If she gets it done quicker, it's fine by me. You know, it's like she gets her pay. If she takes a little longer, it's on her because she knows what she could do. If she's slacking off, it's on her. So as long as she gets a certain amount, like her 100, she does 100 items listed and shipped. So as long as she does that, it doesn't matter if it's quicker, sooner, if she takes a break in between. As long as she knows what she has to do. So
Okay, awesome. So we had a question from Javela Flips Annie. She wanted to know, do you fix anything? So any of the merchandise you get, if you have something that has a cracked screen or it's damaged or something, do you try to fix it or repair it, or do you just
Yeah,
sell it just as is?
I don't fix anything at all.
Okay, cool. The ATL Flipper says, how long have you been reselling?
I'm gonna say a year and a half.
Okay,
Seriously.
cool. Now I want to talk a little bit about your YouTube channel now, because I know that you told me that you were busy moving from one warehouse to the
Yeah.
other. You got started. What got you motivated to start a YouTube channel? And tell people a little bit about the content that you're going to be making. Because I'm telling you, bro, is that I looked at your channel and you had your first video had like 6,000 views, and I was like, man, if this guy just put a little bit of elbow grease into it, you
A
just
little
did
bit.
maybe two or three videos a week, man, your channel would take off, and I think you would get monetized pretty quickly.
Yeah, so um I've been monetized before. I've had other YouTube channels. I've had other businesses. I used to have an event business where I rent out a venue, get security guards, and I would promote events, and 1,500, 1,700 people would come out. I would charge at the door, and I'd make good profit for the night. And I taught people how to do that on YouTube, and I showed the events, and I got like 1,500 subscribers on there. You know, they were
Mm-hmm.
getting like 8,000 views on each one, but I just stopped doing that. I wanted to focus on this. It was more of a long term thing for me. But no, it's just no, yeah, I know the YouTube's right there for the taking for me, and I know I can, you know, just put a little bit of effort in, and it'll be good. And if I put a lot of effort, I know I think I can climb up pretty quick on there.
Yeah, man. If you just maybe did like a walkthrough and just hung out and said, hey, man, I'm pulling orders. Here's the items of the stuff that I sold today. And just did a quick 10, 15-minute video just showing like a what sold video, and then maybe if you had a sourcing video and say, hey, I was out here at this, flea market or whatever, and this is what
Yeah,
we got. And it doesn't have to be anything extravagant or a bunch of editing, just like a quick 10-minute video and say, hey guys, we're out here at this flea market. This is what we got today. This is what we sold today. Just something like quick like that. I just think that if you did it, you put a little bit of elbow grease into it, bro, I think your channel would take off. For real.
yeah.
So I subscribe to your channel, and I think you're going to be doing well. You're already at like 600 subscribers. You're already halfway there to reaching your goal of 1,000 subscribers. So hey, man, I can tell you're a really goal oriented type of person. What are some of your goals that you have this year for 2022?
I want to do 1 million in sales.
Yeah.
I want to consistently work out throughout the whole year and maintain like a good, healthy body. Eat healthy throughout the whole year and not get too caught up in the work, and also see my family often. And I mean, I'm a younger guy. Like, don't get it wrong. Like, I'm 24. I like to party too. You know, so Monday through Friday, I bust ass, and Friday night, Saturday, I'm partying. You know, like I'm hanging out with my friends, and I'm having fun too at the same time, because I don't want to just slave too. Like, I got to live life too. So I like to have a good balance of everything.
Yeah, I understand, bro. I was young once too. So,
Yeah.
I'm 38 now. I'm almost 40, but I've been young once. I've been, the college age kid once before too. And so it's all right. You can't work 24 hours a day. So, hey, I wanted to say hey to the ATL Flippers. Says he subscribed, got a roll. Thanks for jumping in and hanging out with us today. We got a question from Jason R. Says, where do you get the majority of your inventory? So, could you talk to me a little bit about your sourcing strategy? Where do you go sourcing? Where do you get the majority of your inventory? How do you go about negotiating prices? Because that's one of the things people struggle with. They're like, hey, I like doing this resale gig, but I'm not finding enough profitable items that I could flip and resell and make money on.
Yeah, so I pretty much got about 6 people that I constantly buy off of. The way I met them was going to the flea market and buying off them consistently. And I noticed I always have stuff. Like, hey man, what's your number? And like, they know I'm good for it. Whenever they call me, I got the cash, and that's very important too, to lock someone in like that. Just to not be bluffing when they call you for a deal and you don't have the money, or like, oh no, I don't think I could do it this time. Then they kind of brush you off. So it's important to go there and they know you're about it, and that you're gonna buy everything. But when you buy everything, you do get it cheaper. So it'll be like, hey, I told you I'll buy everything every Wednesday, and I've been doing it. So sometimes I drive 2 hours, sometimes an hour, hour and a half, and I just go everywhere, kind of just build connections. Yeah, just like that. And now I don't have to source every single day, but when they get that call to go pick something up in the morning, then I'm there. So, but I'm not like
All right.
sourcing by foot anymore because I put the work in to get those contacts.
Right. So do you negotiate with them, or do you just pay what they ask you to
Sometimes
pay and then go?
it just depends. It depends what it is. I'm like, if they're like, oh, it's 1,000. I'm like, nah, dude, like, nah, I can't do that. I always negotiate. You got to try to get the best deal, but also, don't try to like get the lowest amount either, because you got to keep them happy so that
Yeah, right.
they
Right.
keep bringing it back. Because if you
right.
just
Right.
lowball them too hard every time, they're not going to call you.
Right,
So
because they got to eat too. So if
yeah,
you
they got to
can't
eat.
give them a little bit of if they can't make a profit on you, then they're not going to call you again next time they got a deal. So they have to make a little bit of profit, and then you make a little bit of profit. Like that's the
Yeah,
way the game works, right?
yeah.
So
And I
we
just
got
got this new guy that I've been buying off consistently from this other guy. I got a bunch of AirPods. So like those, I have a lot of those. So I told this guy like, hey, I'm gonna give you 30 AirPods for free. Just keep consistently bringing it to me, because he gives me good product at a great price. He doesn't know much about them, he's consistent every Wednesday. It's like that. So I told him, hey man, I'm gonna give you these. You can resell them, make your money off that. Let's just keep the relationship going like that. So I don't mind
yeah.
doing stuff like that at all if they
It's
keep that
it's
connection
definitely
going.
important to build relationships and connections with people. Jason says, on average, along with you and your sister, how many items do you guys, how many listings do you do per week on eBay, or like how many listings do you actually get up?
We get up about 500 on pretty much on
Really,
the
in a
dot.
week?
Yeah.
So 500 a week. So that means if you do 100 a day times 5 days, Monday through Friday, so that means you'd have 500 up in a week, right? So you would have what,
Spread out through 7
2,000
days.
done by the end of the month, probably 2,000 at the end of the month, you would guess.
Yeah.
And it's helpful that you don't have to do it all by yourself, that you have
Oh man.
somebody there to
Because I
help you
used
list
to
the
do the
items.
50 by myself, ship by myself, source by myself, and still try at the gym and do this and that. And like I did
Yeah,
that
it
for
would.
months, but God, like my head was just like exploding. Just I did it, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather outsource
Right.
and get some help.
So talk to me. In your videos, you said you had some experience with buying pallets of merchandise. So tell us the story about the good and bad. Tell us the story about buying pallets of merchandise. Well, what kind of insight info can you give us on that?
There's just too many people go. They're just too overpriced. You can't even make a profit anymore. Too many people are in on that. So it's not profitable. I'd rather do what I'm doing in terms of just buying through the resellers or through the storage guys and people that get those kind of items. But yeah, it's cool, but it's just you end up paying 10,000 to make 12. Like I don't want to be in that kind of business, So it's just it was good for a little bit, but it just got too flooded with how many people buy. So
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. There's got to be profit margins in there, or it's not really worth your time of
yeah,
having to
and
go
it's
through all the
huge
hassle.
capital
And
I invest. So
yeah, right. Like you said, if you don't want to spend 10 grand to try to make 12, that
yeah,
because there's not got to be enough profit margin there.
yeah.
So hey, man, tell everybody what would be your top 3 tips or piece of advice to help somebody out with their reselling business. Because when I watch your video, I know one of the things you talk about is it's really important for the eBay computer algorithm to list every day. So talk to me a little bit about what your strategy is. Tell me your top 3 tips to help somebody grow and scale their business. If I came to you and I said, all right, dude, I'm at 0 items listed, and I want to grow and scale my business to where you are now, where I can make $40,000 a month, what do I need to do?
And I actually just put my cousin on to eBay completely. He's never touched eBay. He's never done it, and his 90-day total says 18,000 within the first 3 months just from teaching him. I just told him like, hey,
Cool.
come over here. You're gonna work for me. You're gonna see what I do, and any questions, call me, but don't bug me too much because I'm busy. But because a lot of the things is figuring out on your own. But I'd say number one is listing every day, even if it's just 5. You have to list every single day. You have to make it a habit. You have to be consistent. I haven't missed a day of listing in 8 months. And I got that from Daily Refinement. But you just have to list every single day, be consistent. You have to be consistent sourcing. It's not hard. It's really not hard. The thing is, I'll put it like this: everyone knows how to get in shape. Everyone knows how to get a 6-pack. Let's say, what do you do to get in shape? You work out, you eat clean, and you work out consistently. But how many people actually do that? It's simple, but it's hard because it's hard to be consistent, and that's where people, you know what I mean? It's like it's super simple. Okay, you list items, you find good product that sell profit, that have good profit, and you just do it every day, and you just multiply it. And if you find 10 good products that do that, you just multiply it. That's the way I see it, and it's not super hard, but it's super hard to be consistent. That's the way I see it.
I'm with you, man. You could sit down and say, okay, boom, I've got my 5 or 50 listings done. And then what happens the other 4 or 5 days of the week? You just have to do it consistently.
Every day.
Hey, let me say hello to a few people here in the chat. I wanted to say hey to Prison to Profit is here in the chat. Ella is here from Save Here First. Vinny Diamond says, does he have an email to learn more? He says eBay is where it's at. Tell them where they could go by and check you out at on YouTube and Instagram. I have all your links in the description down below on YouTube, but if they're not on YouTube, tell them where they can go by and check you out and follow you on YouTube and Instagram.
I'm going to start being way more consistent on YouTube, but my name right there, Pelayotech, is on YouTube. And Palayo DA1 is my Instagram. And you can shoot me a message on there. I'll reply. I have a bunch of that. I've been getting a bunch lately. That's kind of too, like I'm starting getting in on the groove of YouTube, but yeah, and I know it's right there for me to get to work, make something out of it.
Okay, cool. We got a question in the chat from Jason. Says, hey, being a year and a half into business, did you save all of your monthly profits and continue to reinvest to increase your inventory, or did you apply for a loan or have an investor? So you want to talk about that, because you're still a young guy. You said 24 years old. So if you could do it at 24 years old, anybody should be able to do it as long as you're willing to put the work in, right?
My dad's 47. He made 180,000 last year.
Okay, so the question was, when you started your business, did you just save all of your monthly profits and reinvest it back in your inventory, or did you apply for a loan or have an investor when you first got started? You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I've never taken out a loan whatsoever. Just I used to have a different job, and I had a little bit of money saved up. I think it was like $6,000 that I had, and I just kind of started from there and buy, resell, and it just kept growing. On some, you win really big, so you save the money, and I already had some money. I have a good cushion to where I don't depend on the money that comes in from those particular sales. So yeah, I don't, no loan, nothing. It's just all keep reinvesting.
Yeah.
Pretty much every dollar I get, I don't mind.
All right, now cool. Now, David, earlier you talked that you have some other projects that's not YouTube or reselling related. Talk to me, if people want to get to know you a little bit better. Talk to me about what are some other things that you like to do, or some other projects that you want to work on in the future, besides doing reselling and YouTube.
I'd like to have a restaurant, a nightclub, real estate, apartment complexes, a porta potty business, a laundromat, car wash. Like I want to get.
You're the first person I've ever heard in my life say they would have a porta potty business. I've never heard of anybody say anything like that. Like, yeah,
like
rent a porta potty.
Just to park one there, it's like $500 for the week, and if you have 40 of those going around, you can get something going. Yeah.
Hey, I guess you don't knock it until you try it, right? I don't know. That was the last thing I was expecting you to say. Is I'm going to start a business and rent out porta potty. Like, I'm just, you never know what we're going to talk about here, guys. So you would eventually want to scale and grow and do other business ventures besides just eBay. What do you like to do for fun besides doing eBay and YouTube? And you said you like to go to the gym and work out at the gym a lot. So what are some of your hobbies or some of the things that you like to do?
Yeah, I used to play basketball in high school, and I still have my buddies here, so we'll go play basketball. We have some quads. I want to get some jet skis soon. Guns, I like guns. Trying to get into golf. I don't know, I like being outdoors and doing that kind of stuff. Hiking, snowboarding. and I like cooking a lot. I love to cook. So
Now, my question is, are you going to stay in California, or are you planning on leaving anytime soon, or are you planning on staying in California for a while?
I lived in Texas for 3 years, so I've been over there too. I
Okay.
think I'll be here. Yeah, it's getting crazy. Everything's getting crazy, but I can complain and leave, or I can work way harder so that the inflation doesn't affect me, and I can be here with my family and enjoy the weather. So I feel
Yeah,
like
the
I can do
weather
that.
is definitely nice. I'm down here in Tampa, and it's nice when people like my brother's in Kentucky, and he's like, "Dude, it's going to be snowing here tomorrow." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Bro, it's like 85 degrees here. We're down
yeah,
by the beach chilling." So the weather is nice, but the reason why I bring it up is I've heard of people in California saying gas is $6-7 a gallon in California. You know, cost of living is crazy. Then they're having the state tax in California. If you were in a place like Nevada or Texas or Florida, there'd be no state tax. So
yeah.
just something to think about if you're going to
The
be
thing is
growing
too,
and scaling down the
that's
road.
completely true. But the thing
Yeah.
is, California, there's so much waste here. I'm sure there's everywhere, but in terms of electronic waste, there's so much here. There's tons.
Yeah.
So people throw away their PS3s all day, their old
Yeah.
electronics all day. Like people here, like we're just spoiled for choice. Like it's crazy the stuff I find that they don't want it, so they throw it away or they donate it. And I don't think I could. I mean, I probably could. I would have to go check it out in Texas or scope it around and just go to flea market, see what I see, and just kind of do the same thing I did here in terms of just meeting people and see what kind of connection I would get. But for now, like I don't mind.
Oh, we lost our guest. I think we lost the internet connection, guys. I apologize. We'll have to get him to come back on again sometime. I didn't kick him off the stream. I think we just lost connection because I'm in Florida and he's all the way in California. But anyways, guys, thanks for jumping on and hanging out with us today. I'm going to give him another minute and see if he comes back on. I'll try to check with him on Instagram and see if he's coming back. But we lost him. But anyways, guys, thanks for jumping on and hanging out. Be sure to follow our guests. All the links are going to be down below for YouTube and Instagram. I was just looking down on my calculator. If he does $40,000 a month on eBay in 12 months, you can see that's $480,000. That's almost $500,000 a year just making, and that's in actual sales on eBay. That's his gross sales. It's not profit, but that's still gross sales is almost $500,000. And he's only a young kid, 24-year-old kid. So if he's out here hustling and he can do it, you guys can do it. So I appreciate everybody for jumping on and hanging out, man. You guys have a great weekend, and I will catch you guys in the next video, guys. You guys have a great day. Bye, everybody.